down and sing it red for fun.
Bonjour les enfants. Aujourd'hui, nous allons lire un livre. Oh, excuse me. I meant to say, hello kids. Today we're going to be reading a book together. I said it in French. Maybe you know where France is. If you look on a globe, do you know what a globe is? Probably. It's like looking at the moon and seeing the big circle in the sky, but then it has pictures of the different countries. And if you go across from South Carolina, where we live, and you go across the ocean, like you are on the beach, and you decided to swim and swim and swim, you would swim all the way to a large continent called Africa. And then right up from North Africa, up through a country called Spain, that's a place where people live like us. Then right north of that, you would see France. And that's where Madeline lives, of course. And some of you may be aware of Madeline in this wonderful book, which has her name, of course. And you'll notice that she's dressed in pretty clothes and very much what French people wear. And French people, of course, are just like us, but they have a beautiful language which sounds like birds. And you know, when you go outside in the springtime and you hear the birds, you don't know exactly what they're saying, but it's lovely the way that the words just flow together. So when I say to you, bonjour les enfants, you can hear the words come together. Hi kids, aujourd'hui nous allons lire un livre ensemble. Today we're going to read a book together. And the book is not going to be Madeline, so let's say goodbye, Madeline. Instead, it's going to be a book that I know that you all probably know, Where the Wild Things Are, by Maurice Sendak. But this time, it's going to be in French. And I'll read the French and then do a quick translation for you, although you probably have it memorized by now. Max et les Maxi Monstres. Max and the Wild Things by Maurice Sendak. Un soir, one night, Max put on son costume de loup, his wolf costume. Il fit une bêtise et puis une autre. He made himself like one beast and then like another. Et puis une autre. Oh, and look, he's running after the dog, so he's acted like one monster after another after another. Look, there's even a picture of him like a monster. Monstre, lui dit sa mère. Monster, said his mom to him. Je vais te manger, répondit Max. I'm going to eat you. Et il se retrouva au lit, sans rien avoir mangé du tout. And all of a sudden, he found himself in his bedroom without a bite to eat. His mother had put him in the bedroom. He had been so bad. And look, he looks really, really mad. But then things began to change. Ce soir-là, that night, and you can see the moon through the window, une forêt poussa dans la chambre de Max. A forest began to grow in Max's bedroom. Look how it's coming out of his bed and is covering the ceiling. D'abord, un arbre. At first, one tree. Puis deux. Puis trois. So then two, and then three. Oh, and look, he's beginning to be happy again. He's smiling. And look at the moon and all of the beautiful, beautiful trees. Des lianes qui pendaient du plafond, the crawling, the creeping vines which descended from the ceiling, et au lieu des murs, and in place of walls, des arbres à perte de vue, trees as far as one could see. Oh, and look, he's turning back into his monster mode again. Look at those claws, those sharp ears, and his furry tail, and how he's prancing, walking forwards. Un océan gronda. The sea made a roaring noise. Il portait un bateau. He got himself a ship, one that awaited him. And look, it even has the word Max on the side of the ship. Alors, Max fit vol. And then Max set sail. Look, there's the sail. It's a big piece of cloth, and the wind gets caught in the sail, and it pushes the boat through the water. Il navigua nuit et jour. He navigated, or he sailed himself, day and night. Il navigua pendant des semaines. He sailed himself for weeks. You know what a week is, that's 7 days. Well, he sailed himself for 7 days, after 7 days, after 7 days. Il navigua plus un an. He sailed for more than a year. Pour arriver au pays de Maximonstres, to arrive at the land of the great and fearful monsters. And look, here's one of the monsters rising out of the ocean, and he's snorting smoke at Max. And Max looks a little scared, but don't worry, look what's going to happen. Les Maximonstres roulaient des yeux terribles. The large monsters rolled their terrible eyes. Ils poussaient des terribles cris. They made these horrible noises. Ils faisaient grincer les terribles crocs. They ground together their terrible fangs. You could hear the sound of the fangs coming together. Et ils dressaient vers Max le terrible griffe. And they showed Max their terrible claws. Ooh. Silence! Dit simplement Max. Il est fixé tranquille. Toi, dans les yeux jaunes. Pas un seul de ses cils ne bougeait. Silence, said Max simply. He fixed them very calmly with his own eye straight in theirs, and not a single one of their eyelashes even moved a little bit. Look at him. He's controlling them absolutely. They're all now afraid of Max. What will he do to them? Ah, vous êtes terrible. Vous êtes notre roi. They said, look, they're bowing down before him. They're saying, you're terrible. You're our king. And look, he has a crown on. And he has what's called a scepter. That's a stick that has a lot of power. And so when he holds that up, they're going to do just what he says. And look at all the trees again. And the moon. Isn't that beautiful? And they're all just very calm. But they are terrible. Nous allons faire une fête épouvantable, déclara le roi Max. We're going to have ourselves an awful, terrible, mean party, declared the King Max. But of course, he said that in a very happy way because, remember, Max likes to be terrible. And look at them. Look at all the awful things they're doing. They're dancing beneath the moon. They're making howling noises. Look at their terrible yellow eyes. Look how they're hopping up and down. Look at their claws. Oh, he's loving it, and they're loving it too. And look, they're hanging from the trees, and they're moving back and forth their terrible feet, and they're looking utterly ferocious. And look at the smile on King Max's face, and look at the smiles on all the monsters. They just love it, les Maximonstres. And look now, they're walking through the forest. Nobody can challenge them. Look at those eyes. Look at those sharp teeth, the claws again. Wouldn't you be scared if you came up against them? And look how confident, how full of happiness the king is. He's in charge. Oh, but they've been bad and bad and bad, and they're now all kind of tired out because they have been so bad, and so bad in a good way. Ça suffit, dit Max brusquement. That's enough, said Max quickly. Vous irez au lit sans souper. You're going to go to bed now without any supper. Max, roi des maxi-monstres, resta seul. Max, the king of the maxi monsters, the big monsters, sat by himself all alone. Une envie lui vint d'être animé. Something began to nibble at him. D'être animé terrible. All of a sudden, he had this tremendous need. De loin, très loin, du bout du monde, lui venaient des odeurs, de choses bonnes à manger. From far, very far away, towards the end of the world, he began to smell these odors of food that would be wonderful to eat. Max renonça à être roi des maxi-monstres. Max decided to no longer be the king of the maxi-monstres, of the big ferocious beasts. But do you think they were happy? Look at them. Uh-oh. Ne partez pas. Ne nous abandonnez pas. Don't leave. Don't abandon us. It doesn't look like they're gonna take this lion down. They're coming after him now. Nous vous mangerons. We're gonna eat you. But look, he's in the boat. Look at him smiling, just waving to them. Non, dit seulement Max. No, said Max, without a care in the world, because he's in the water and he's moving away from them. Les maxi-monstres roulaient des yeux terribles. Ils poussaient de terribles cris. Ils faisaient grincer le terrible croc et dressaient vers Max le terrible griffe. The maxi monsters, the big monsters, rolled their terrible eyes. They made their awful cries, and they ground their terrible teeth, their terrible fangs together. Grr, grr. Du bateau qu'il portait son nom, Max le fit un petit salut. From the boat, which had his name on it, and the name is on the other side of the boat. You remember you saw that before. You can't see it here because it's on the other side. But from the boat that had his name on it, he just waved at them again without a care in the world, because he was going back. Back, do you know where? Il fit voile à nouveau. He set sail, and remember, a sail is this piece of fabric that the wind catches to make the boat go forward. Il fit voile à nouveau. He set sail again. Il voyagea le matin. Il voyagea le soir. He sailed during the morning. He sailed during the evening. Les jours étaient comme des semaines, et les semaines comme des mois. The days became weeks, and the weeks became months. But look, there's still a big moon in the sky. Mais au bout d'un an et un jour, at the end of a year and one day, il accosta enfin en pleine nuit dans sa propre chambre. He found himself again in his bedroom, as it had been before, without the forests and without the monsters. And look, you can tell he's pretty tired. He's had a lot of fun. Où il trouva son dîner qu'il attendait, where he found his dinner awaiting him. And look, it's got a glass of milk and a bowl of soup or porridge and a nice piece of cake, because the French really, really like cake. And everything was tout chaud, and it was all still hot. And that's the end. Merci beaucoup, les enfants. Thank you so very much, children. I enjoyed reading with you. Adieu.